Hi, my name is Lauren. I'm 30 years old and I'm from just outside Cumbernauld. Last year on the 10th of February 2022, I was diagnosed with stage 3 cervical cancer. Stage 3 for me meant that my tumour had actually grown to 5 centimetres. It spread along my pelvis and was also found in pelvic and abdominal lymph nodes. Treatment for me consisted of a really intense regime of chemo, radiation and an internal targeted radiation called brachytherapy. For me, I had a lot of kind of signs and symptoms pointing towards cervical cancer, abnormal bleeding, abnormal pelvic pain, things like that. I did go for a smear which came back abnormal cells, and then COVID hit and everything shut down. Even though I knew something was wrong, you try not to go to that sinister place, especially when you're told, oh, you're young, it won't be anything serious, it's just your menstrual cycle. You try not to go into that place in your head, but the reality is this can happen, and it does happen to people like me. People really need to listen to their own bodies and advocate for themselves. If you don't advocate for yourself, then who's going to? I think it's your right, when you feel like there's something not right with your body, for somebody to take you seriously, for somebody to listen to your concerns and know that it is your body, and you know that what you feel, and your concerns. I think just listen to your gut and understand that, that's, if your gut's telling you something, then go with it. Being told you have stage 3 cancer is devastating, especially when you are so young.
It's okay. You're doing amazing. You're doing so well.
So I was given the all clear in September 2022. Obviously, coming through the other side of that treatment and being told that you've got the all clear, you know that fight was for something, and you do just feel so grateful to still be here. Obviously, I am so unbelievably grateful to still be here, but I do need to be honest with the reality and how the aftermath of everything that's happened and how cervical cancer treatment affects you. It's a life that, the minute I was diagnosed, it's a life that completely changed. It went in a direction that I never thought it would. Being told after treatment that, I was now infertile and I had never had that opportunity to start a family before then, and now that opportunity was taken away. The reality of that, it was tough. I think when you get the all clear, it's a very bittersweet moment. Obviously you're so grateful and you're so happy to have got through that and still be here, but on the other side, you're left with a life that you did not expect to have. I've now been left menopausal and early menopause, having to navigate HRT and the side effects and things from from treatment. So it doesn't just stop when the treatment stops. It's something that's always going to be there. It's always going to be an anxiety. There's always going to be a fear. And that it's draining. It really is. And if campaigning and telling my story can help one person and prevent them going through what I've went through and these other girls have went through, then it's worth it, because I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Self-testing is something that I have looked into, and I think it would be a really valuable resource in screening, not to, overtake the smear test as such, but to be an additional resource that those with a cervix can use for those signs of early detection. It's really, really important. Cervical cancer can be prevented, it can be caught early, as long as these measures are in place. And for the smear test to be put up to start at age 25, I think is something that I can't really understand. The legal age of consent in the UK is 16 years old. So why then are those with the cervix not being smeared until they're 25? The minute you start becoming sexually active, it increases your risk of HPV, which then increases your risks drastically of developing cervical cancer. According to Public Health Scotland, only 68% of those with a cervix are up to date with the screening process. It's at its lowest rate that it's ever been since screening started in Scotland. There's a number of reasons that people might not attend their smear tests. It's been reported, embarrassment, fear, maybe not finding time, hectic lives get in the way. There is obviously more traumatic and complex reasons that people might not go for their smear test as well. Those who have been subjected to sexual violence, genital mutilation, and those with gender dysphoria, and also those with disabilities who might find it difficult to get out the house and attend smear tests and things like that as well. Another example could be someone who has autism, to have that understanding of why they're going for a smear test and that whole procedure being done to them can be quite, confusing, and they don't quite grasp the concept of why this is being done to them. I think that's why the self-sampling is such an important thing for all these individuals. They can self-sample within a safe space in their own home. They can have someone help them who they feel comfortable with, and it'll just give that opportunity to find out if they're in that at-risk category, which is really important. If you don't get tested, then you don't know if you're in that bracket. Together we can make a change.